Man United look very in control of their game against West Ham today. West Ham are very good in their defensive structure. To come away with a 3-0 win has to be a massive positive. We weren't as tactically good as we were against Wolves, but I think we controlled the game very well and we took all of our chances today. Now, because West Ham are a very good defensive side, we didn't really seem to create too many chances from possession based football. Now, it's very clear that Ten Hag's preferred way of creating chances is through the counter press, and we saw that with the first and the third goal. If we look at the first goal, it was Casemiro who intercepted that ball into the midfield, and that bounced onto Højlund, who then produced a lovely piece of skill and slammed that into the bottom corner on his weaker foot. And we saw the same thing on the third goal when McTominay pressed onto Calvin Phillips, who messed up, and then played in Garnacho, who had a very calm finish. And now this style of play is one of the reasons why Ten Hag likes to use Anthony, because when Anthony came on, we saw him produce quite a few tackles in the final third, and we know that Ten Hag likes this sort of pressing and winning back the ball high up the pitch and creating a lot of chances through quick transitions and counter pressing. I think one of the reasons why we didn't create as many chances when we were on control of the ball is because of the exclusion of Rafael Varane. Now, Maguire is a very adept player on the ball, but he doesn't seem to have that line breaking ability that maybe someone like Rafael Varane does. And Varane is quite underrated in this area. People think that because Varane's a little awkward in the way he runs, he's not good on the ball. He's very underrated when in terms of his ball playing ability. He can play line breaking passes and quick and move the ball quickly, very comfortably. And Maguire has these long switches of play in his locker. He can play those passes, but they aren't really as effective as those quicker zip balls into midfield. And we saw, to be fair, he did it once today, but having someone like Varane and Martinez or even Lindelof who can do that on a regular basis would help us a lot more. But also, these players can move the ball a lot quicker, and that will help us break teams down a lot easier. Now, because of the nature of this game, there isn't too much else to digress in terms of the tactics of the team, so let's go into some individual performances. Now, I have criticised Maguire a little bit, but I think today he had a bit of an off game. There was a little mishap when he let Emerson tackle him, and Emerson was almost through on goal. And then there was also that chance where he misjudged the flight of the ball and Bone was in behind. We have to give a lot of credit to Diogo Dalot. Now, Onana should probably do better and not retreat to his goal line so fast. But Diogo Dalot had some incredible recovery pace to track down Bowen and produce such a massive block. He also had a very good performance in general. He was able to go up and down the pitch very, very comfortably and also plays that inverted role very, very well. We have to give credit to Martinez as well today. He had played a lot of good quick passes into the midfield and we were able to break down the opposition. He will be a big miss for us and we are going to need to see Varane, Lindelof and Maguire step up to the plate now. There's no one who can do that line breaking pass job as well as Martinez, but I think we have got other good capable options in our defensive department. I want to shout out Casemiro and Mainu, who absolutely ran that show today. Casemiro is one of our best tacklers in the midfield. He's so good at winning the ball back, and Mainu looks so calm in the game. He seems like he's a 30-plus-year-old player in the way he plays because he's so intelligent and so composed. He can dribble through and pass through very tight situations, and that's a very, very unique thing to have at this age. Hopefully, we can breed him and we can get the best out of him and get him to his full potential. Højlund is now starting to rack up his goals in the Premier League. People started to criticise him and make memes about him when he still scored 5 goals in the Champions League. But now he's doing it in the Premier League, silencing the haters. Fantastic finish today. And we've never really had a striker like him for a long, long time. We haven't really had a number 9 who can really do it all. Ibrahimovic was a bit slow. Lukaku couldn't really hold up the ball well. Cavani was a good player but had struggled with fitness. Again, Martial struggled with fitness and again isn't a very good target man. And neither is Ronaldo. He's not really the biggest target man. But Højlund is a fantastic target man. He can bully defenders, he can run fast, and his link up play isn't bad for a guy of his size. That's something he can improve on, but he's only 20 years old, and the potential he's showing right now is very exciting. Also, praise to Garnacho for getting 2 goals today. On the right hand side, he's starting to look a little bit more comfortable, and he's also getting his head up to look for passes rather than trying to get a shot off all the time now. In his debut season, he wasn't always trying to shoot, but I think at the beginning of this year, he's been looking a little bit more selfish. Now that in this game today, he looked very unselfish and still managed to score 2 goals, which is impressive. I also wanted him to shoot that pass that he tried to play into Rashford, which was intercepted, because he did well to cut inside and get on his left foot. And he has got a good left foot, if you remember what he did against Aston Villa. Other than that, there's not too much I can digress in terms of the tactics of the team. Let's jump into the player ratings. Andre Onana, I'm going to give him a 6.5. Made a good save from the corner and otherwise had a very reasonable game. Dalot, 7.5. I would have given him a 7 because he had a very good performance, but also he had that incredible blocking from Maguire's mistake. Maguire at 5.5 made a couple errors today, looked a bit shaky. I think he's a downgrade on Varane, but didn't really make anything too horrendous. Martinez a 7 is unlucky that we've lost him yet again. Hopefully he can come back soon. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 6. Did a solid job defensively, but wasn't as big a threat in the attack as he was in the last game. Casemiro and Maine, I'm going to give them both 7s. Completely ran that midfield. Casemiro also got that interception for Hoyland's goal. Fernandez at 6.5. A bit quiet game from him, but he got that assist for Garnacho. Garnacho has to be a 7.5. 2 goals in a game. Rashford a 6 was a little bit quiet today, but he's a lot better now than he was at the beginning of the season. And Hoyland a 7, where he took his goal in sublime style. McTominay, I'll give him a 6.5 because he won that interception for the second goal. Varane came on and did a very good job. I think I'll give him a 6.5 as well. Lindelof and Anthony didn't really have enough time to impact the game. I'll give them both a 6. Given the fact that West Ham are a very well defensively organised team, a 3-0 win against them is a pretty good result for us. We struggled against them last time, but obviously they didn't have their star man in Paqueta. I think today's performance and the way we tried to break West Ham wasn't as good as what we did against Wolves, but we still were able to control the game very well. We were able to get 3 very good goals and keep a clean sheet.